Imagine never having to wake up to that annoying alarm again. Waking up because you want to, not because the clock said so. No boss texting you on Sunday night. No feeling that life only really begins after you retire. I used to think that kind of talk was just motivational fluff, something you hear from get-rich-quick gurus online. But over time, I realized it's actually possible to build a system that works for you, even while you sleep. A system where your money becomes a secret team of invisible employees. They don't take vacations, never call in sick, and have just one job: to buy your freedom. In the beginning, I thought that was impossible. Everyone around me was saying the same thing. Work hard for 40 years, and if you're lucky, retire with dignity. And because everyone believed it, I did too. Until one day, I realized maybe the problem wasn't work itself. It was how I looked at money. I was stuck inside a cycle that felt normal, but in reality, it was a trap. Most people live in a permanent loop. Wake up, work, pay bills, buy something to feel better, and if they're lucky, save a little. That was my life too. I thought I was doing great until one day I looked at my bank account and thought, seriously? That's it? I'd studied, worked hard, avoided debt, and still it felt like I was running in place. Then I realized the mistake. I was expecting money to grow while I kept doing the same thing. I opened a brokerage account, bought some stocks, some funds, and after months, nothing really changed. The feeling was like pushing a snowball uphill, small, heavy, and every inch depending on me. And worse, the progress was almost invisible. That's the point where most people give up. They start motivated, but then think, this is just for rich people, heirs, or finance YouTubers. I thought the same. But the truth is, the system doesn't fail. In the beginning, you are the system. I learned that the beginning is always the hardest part. At first, your money doesn't work for you. It's just sitting there, waiting for you to push it forward, with effort, discipline, and patience. Until one day, something changes. The snowball starts rolling downhill on its own. That's when I discovered one of the simplest, most powerful ideas ever: the Rule of 72. It sounds like a magic trick, but it's pure math. Here's how it works. Take the number 72 and divide it by your annual rate of return. The result tells you how many years it takes for your money to double. If you're getting 10% per year, totally doable with a balanced portfolio, your money doubles roughly every 7 years. Think about it. Start with $50,000. In 7 years, it becomes $100,000, then $200,000, then $400,000. Suddenly, that slow snowball is racing down the hill with massive momentum. The secret isn't doubling once, it's staying long enough for the compounding effect to explode. In the beginning, it feels slow, but as the numbers grow, compound interest becomes a beast, the kind of beast you want on your side. That's when I realized time is the greatest multiplier there is. The sooner you start, the sooner your freedom clock begins to tick. Now, you might be thinking, okay, but I don't make that much. How am I supposed to invest? I used to think the same thing. But here's the truth. Financial freedom doesn't come from investing a lot once, it comes from never stopping. Let's say you make $4,000 a month and save 10%. That's $400. Doesn't sound like much, right? But after 10 years, at around 10% annual return, that's roughly $77,000. A great start, but still not enough to live off. The real game changer is when you learn to play both sides, offense and defense. Offense means increasing your income. Defense means keeping your lifestyle stable so you can save more. Once I understood that, everything changed. Instead of obsessing over cutting coffee, I started thinking, how can I earn more coffees per month? And when my income went up, I did something most people don't. I didn't upgrade my lifestyle. No new car, no bigger apartment, no trap of looking rich before actually being rich. Every raise became an investment. That's when I saw the magic. Every extra dollar I put to work was like hiring a new employee, an invisible one, working 24/7. And unlike regular employees, this one created more workers on its own. The secret isn't just investing, it's not firing your invisible employees to buy things you don't need. Every dollar you spend on stuff you'll forget next month is a worker you've just let go. I fired many of them in the beginning, but when I stopped doing that, growth finally showed up. The biggest shift for me was realizing that investing isn't about getting rich fast. It's about building a system that runs itself. Most people want safety and return, but they only pick one. I learned you need all three pillars: growth, income, and protection. Growth assets are the engine: solid companies, ETFs, and real estate. That's what speeds up your wealth. Then come the income generators: dividends, REITs, and rental income, the steady flow that pays you while you sleep. Finally, the protectors: treasury bonds, savings, and emergency funds. They won't make you rich, but they'll keep you from losing what you've built when markets crash. When that balance started working, something changed in me. I realized the real goal isn't becoming a millionaire, it's freedom. The freedom to choose how to spend your time. To work because you want to, not because you have to. To have lunch with your family on a Wednesday without guilt. To sleep peacefully knowing your future is safe. That's real wealth. And honestly, there's no number that can buy that feeling. In the end, I realized financial freedom isn't an event, it's a process. There's no finish line or certificate. It's about planting today so you can harvest tomorrow, and keeping that harvest growing even when you're not in the field anymore. At first, progress feels slow, almost invisible, but every step counts. Every dollar invested, every invisible employee you hire, every month you stay consistent even without visible results, all of it builds your future. And when the day comes, and it will, you wake up and realize you don't have to run anymore. Your money is the one running for you. And that alarm clock, the same one that haunted you for years, is now just a decoration on your nightstand. Financial freedom isn't about luck, it's about a method. And the earlier you start, the sooner you'll discover your freedom clock is already ticking. So start now, plant today, because the best time to begin was yesterday, and the second best is today.